Today I want to share with everybody how to make a sourdough starter. I was surprised to find out that yeast is becoming hard to find right now. A sourdough starter is very easy to make, and I wanted to share with you all my technique for doing it. It also is a great way to make delicious bread with a lot of flavor, which also has a higher nutritional quality to it. And then we can also convert the sourdough recipe to make things like bagels, donuts, crackers, pizza, all sorts of baked goods. And so to start making a sourdough starter, you need some freshly ground whole flour. I like to use whole rye. I think it's the easiest. I put it in a pint jar. And then water that is not chlorinated. This is well water. It could also be spring water or distilled water. And that's all the basics to make a sourdough starter. So I have in this jar whole ground rye flour. You can also use whole ground wheat flour. I think it's important to use a whole flour versus white flour. So very simply, I'm going to take the flour in the jar. I'm going to pour in roughly an equal amount of water, but it's not super exact, and I don't really measure this at all. I'm going to give it a stir. What we're doing is trying to encourage all the yeast that live in the air to come and live in this starter. So I'm going to stir it up till it's a nice kind of goopy consistency. Scrape off the spoon. Now, the important thing is to let air, which has all the yeast flying around in it, into the jar, but to keep things like bugs out. So I'm going to put on a little bit of cheesecloth and then just screw on a jar lid. And then I'm going to just set it someplace in my kitchen for a few days. And so I'll show you the next stage when this gets all bubbly and happy and starts becoming a starter.